going to do, we are going first to understand a lot about our trauma, about the role of trauma in the subconscious mind. We're gonna dive into of how it works, because when we don't know how it works, we start to sabotage it. We start to do it in a wrong way. So today I'm going to tell you a lot about exactly how are we programmed, what is the main thing that is programming us. Okay, I can see myself. Yeah, so hi everyone. Now I can see myself everywhere, so we can start our day two. So welcome back to everybody. If you are like a newcomer and you didn't hear anything of what I said yesterday, that's okay too. But today we are going deeper, so we are going one step further. I welcome you back, and you made it to day two. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge yourself for that. So just like, I want you to understand that this is really important. If I'm here, if I'm listening, this is important to me, not to anyone else. Yesterday, we uncovered the hidden subconscious patterns that are shaping your reality, and you understood that from the inside. I want to ask you, how are you? How did you sleep? How are you feeling today? I hope that you're good, because I'm so energized. Whenever I'm talking about that and giving you like those exercises and practices, I'm going through them myself. Like, it's not like I'm just like leading you and not doing it. Because of course there is a different type of work that I'm doing, but still I'm in that vibe. So I always feel like energized and more emotional because something is coming up. Some more stuff is coming up to integrate, to show itself, and it's actually amazing. So I feel energized, and thank you for letting me do what I love, guiding you into the depth of your subconscious, uncovering the hidden truths and watching transformation happen in real time. It's a beautiful process. This is my passion, my purpose, and I'm beyond excited to share it with you. And I hope you're excited too. So what's gonna happen today? Today, we take it to the next level. Awareness is powerful, but awareness alone isn't enough. If it were, guys, every self-help book you've ever read would have already changed your life. But real transformation, that happens at the level of integration. And I love talking about that because people think that integration level is my surface level, like my thinking level, my logical level. No, integration level is subconscious. So this is the part where everything started, and this is the part where we need to integrate everything sort of back. It's not like going back, but it's to integrate it to our wholeness. That's what today is about. We are talking what surfaced yesterday. Yeah? So we were talking about what surfaced yesterday, but today we are taking it and rewiring it. So we're shifting your subconscious at the root. Because when you integrate the parts of yourself that were once in conflict, your reality starts changing effortlessly. So that effortlessness is happening when you are at the right place. When you are trying to integrate your trauma, like talking about trauma, it doesn't help a lot. It's not effortless. It's opposite. You can talk about that and then feel even like you don't have any energy, like you were talking about it and you gave it more power to control you. A lot of my clients are describing their healing journey like that. Like, yeah, I uncovered so much pain and I was stuck in it. It's not what Method of Three Eyes is about. It's not about this breakthrough camp is about. So let's dive deeper. What we are covering today, the role of trauma in your subconscious mind. Why it's not something to fix, like we are subconsciously, unconsciously think. We can even talk, yeah, I'm integrating, but actually we are trying to fix it. So I want us from now on clearly understand the difference. And I will tell you why your trauma is a gateway to power. We will be breaking the cycle, how to rewire deep-rooted beliefs using the Method of Three Eyes framework. So it's not the Method of Three Eyes itself, if it's framework, that's going to help us a lot. We will do the energetic recalibration, aligning with your true self. We'll have a guided practice, like my favorite part is a guided practice, deep integration process to release stored trauma and shift old patterns. Emotional release and subconscious reprogramming techniques are waiting for you guys today. And we will also have like a closing section, reflection, a little bit of Q&A, and understanding how this transformation changes your life. So some of you might already be thinking, and I'm like getting messages about that here and there. What if I fall back into my old patterns? And I can tell that this question is the one that is holding you back, because you are thinking not about here and now, but you are thinking in terms of a fear, false evidence appearing real. Did you hear that acronym? Like false evidence appearing real. So it's like, oh, I'm sure I'm gonna go back and I'm scared of this. So I'm sure that's gonna happen and I'm scared of this. This is like fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. So I know that people are asking that question. They can ask themselves, what if I fall back into old patterns? And that stops you. You can even feel it, like the energy closing you up inside. And you're like, oh, if I fall back, so better not to go. But that's the illusion. Also, there is the question, what if this change doesn't last? What if I did some exercises with you here in the Breakthrough Camp, and tomorrow I'm gonna just go right back into my old patterns? I felt excited, yeah, but like, life can take you back. And that's exactly what we are addressing today. Because subconscious transformation is a process, not a one-time event. Of course, the Breakthrough Camp is amazing, but our real transformation is not only about the camp, it's about your real life beyond the camp. Yeah, so today you're going to experience what true integration feels like, and you will start already living your life, your routine, from this new state. Because yesterday we were understanding and today we are integrating. Here is the understanding of the role of trauma in your subconscious mind. So I want you to understand the role of trauma, because a lot of people are running away from trauma. They're labeling it bad or unhealthy or something I don't want in my life. And actually, I'm an activist about changing this word. I would love to change this word because this word provokes a lot of resistance in people. So the role of trauma in your subconscious mind, it's not something to fix. It's a mechanism. I like to describe it as a mechanism of adaptation. When you hear the word trauma, just like right now, what comes to mind? A lot of people say like a major accident, a loss, a painful event, so intense, it changes everything. So like a death of a loved one, like something really, really, really painful. That's what most people think. It doesn't mean that you're wrong, but that's what most people think. But I'm here to tell you that trauma is not just an event. Trauma is an adaptation. It's the whole mechanism. And I will try, guys, to draw today. I don't know if you're going to see that clearly or not, but we're going to try. We're going to try that out. I have some markers today, so I will tell you more about trauma and I will draw, because when I draw the scheme, all of my students, all of my audience understand what I'm saying, because we want to see it. So trauma is a mechanism, a way your subconscious leans to survive in the world it was born into. This is what it is. It's not something inherently bad. Trauma isn't good or bad. It's a strategy. It's a strategy for survival. So let's redefine trauma for a moment. Not as something bad that happens to you, but as a mechanism your subconscious develops to navigate the reality it was born into. Trauma is not an experience itself, it's an internal restructuring of your subconscious mind. Guys, think of it like this. It's a subconscious restructuring of the subconscious mind itself in response to some kind of experience. So I will give you a lot of examples. You'll understand that. But I want to emphasize that if you were praised as a kid for doing something good, Good job, like an American thing. Good job, nonstop. If we are saying that to our kids, it can be a trauma. And just think of it. Because this kid stops identifying themselves with anything else except some success, doing something good, right. Yeah? And when this kid starts to think about themselves as good or bad, right or wrong, good job or not good job, yeah, that makes that kid to put some part of themselves into a back pocket. Like they don't want to associate themselves with times when they didn't do a good job, with times when they failed, because they were not praised for that. So I have a lot of clients with this golden kid syndrome. I need to do everything perfect, the best, and so on and so forth. And that's the problem, because people don't think of it as a traumatic response. They think of it like a positive reinforcement. Yeah? But we need to think of it from a different angle. And I will describe you everything and I will explain you everything. Just stick with me. So again, trauma isn't good or bad. It's a strategy for survival. We will look into it more in details. So we are redefining this trauma. So it's an internal restructuring of your subconscious mind in response to that experience. How can you think of it? Think of a river, okay, flowing naturally from point A to point B. Now place a giant rock in the path. Yeah? So let's draw. So your consciousness is that river that is flowing into one direction. We don't care which direction it is. It's just like, let's say it's a flow of life, yeah? So, I just want you to understand that pretty clear. It's important. So if your consciousness is a sort of a river and it is flowing, yeah? So the flow goes there. Doesn't matter, just like a scheme. And here we have a giant rock. And that rock is, for example, your parents who are criticizing you, belittling you. Yeah, so I often, give trauma a symbol of this. Like it's a kind of a vortex. Because actually it is. On an energetic level, we experience that energy of a trauma like in a vortex sensation. Many people agree with that, so I just started using that symbol for that. So we have some trauma here, criticizing, belittling, humiliating, maybe not beating up, but just like, some kind of a not appropriate behavior towards kids. And that subconscious from here spreads itself around this into different directions. And this kid, it looks like a woman, yeah? And this kid starts associating themselves with the flow that is going here. Why? Because going here gave some bonuses to this kid. For example, the adaptation to this belittling, criticizing was overachieving. So that's what this kid is associating themselves with. But this flow, they're trying to disassociate with. So they're trying to say, I'm not this. And here can be a kid that needs support, that is losing something and so on. And when they feel connection with this flow, like they lost, they were doing something and they were not first, they feel pain. So they start associating this part of themselves, this and this. This is like, you need to understand that both of those flows are you. But you stop thinking of yourself as like this. You start thinking of yourself like, I'm this. And that's it. I'm not this. I will draw you a floor of trauma. I will explain that concept in depth a little bit later, but right now just understand this. So, think of a river flowing naturally from point A to point B. Place a giant rock in its path. The water doesn't stop, it adapts. It splits, it curves, it reshapes itself to keep moving. That's what our consciousness does. It says, okay, this is something I cannot go through without splitting myself. I need that inner split in order to survive. Because otherwise I don't have a support, I don't have an authority figure who can help me, I don't have resources to do that, to just overcome that rock. I have to split myself, to keep moving, to keep living. That's exactly what your consciousness does when it meets a really big rock. And that big rock is a reality it cannot fully process. It can be composed of a lot of small rocks, or it can be something as big as this. So it can be like a lot of small rocks, like here and there, somebody was telling some bad things about you, and then you heard something like your parents were not protecting you when they were supposed to. So you're getting those here and there small events, or it can be some major event, some big event, a loss, like a move into another city, and so on. So we now understand that a child doesn't enter the world as an empty page. From the moment of birth and even before, they come with a certain baggage, and those are ancestral memories. We were talking about them yesterday if you were present here. We were talking about ancestral memories, genetic imprints, energetical patterns, from our lineage. And I was giving you an example that I'm Ukrainian, I'm from Ukraine, and most of Ukrainians suffered famine, and we have that in our bones. Like, we are so scared of not having food on the table. You can't even imagine. That's why when you enter a home of a Ukrainian woman, she will just give you everything on the table. This is how she thinks she's showing you appreciation, to give you a feast. Because in her lineage, there is a lot of pain around food. And this way, she thinks she will show you respect, she will show you love, or whatever. That's why. And it's not logical in today's world. But that's what happens still, no matter what. Yeah, we have that genetic imprints, energetic patterns from our lineage. But they're still deeply connected. So those kids every kid that is coming here, like every newborn, they have a sort of a lot of baggage there, but they're still deeply connected to their true higher self, to their intuition. When I say true self, it doesn't mean that you are not true. I mean that is the true vibration, not changed by society, by circumstances, by traumatic experiences. It's not like, okay, that vibration of my higher self is true, but this mind vibration is not true. I'm not true. I'm a fraud. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. So we have like a language that needs much more to it. We need to add words, because not all words are working for now for us in the way that we are trying to describe the situation. So those small newborns, they are more of themselves than we are adults. So they're more connected to their intuition, to a pure state of being, and then they meet their environment, and adaptation begins. So how trauma shapes your identity without you even knowing it? Let's say a child is born into a family where love is not expressed openly. Not because the parents don't love the child, no, please don't do those conclusions, but because they themselves, those parents, were taught that expressing too much love makes children weak or egoistical. This is the part of Asian culture. This is the part of post-Soviet Union cultures. And I hear this in United States too, that you need to be nice, that you need to be caring and so on, and just like don't put yourself out there too much, because you are a lot like looking like an egoistic, egocentric person. So if those parents, they love their kid, but they can't express that because something is holding them back from expression of that love, because it's a cultural thing or a family dynamics, doesn't matter. But they still believe that if they do that, their kids will be misbehaving and they will spoil their kids, sort of a spoiling of their kids. So that belief didn't start with them. It was passed down from generation of survival, from times when being too soft could mean danger. You know that survival long ago was different from survival now. And long ago, you had to be tough, you had to be more of a person who can rely on themselves, and that toughness protected a lot of people. So, but now times changed, but those beliefs didn't. The child doesn't just hear this message, they absorb it like a sponge, like this sponge, like, and that's it. Their subconscious learns, if I want to be loved, I need to adapt, I need to be strong, I need to suppress my emotions because expressing them makes me unworthy. So this is how subconscious programming is formed. So if love requires obedience, they will become people pleasers. If love required being the best, they will chase achievement endlessly. If love was withheld, they might chase unavailable partners later in their life. So this is how it's cross-connecting in your today's experience. You can already connect those dots once again. And here is the mind-blowing part. When you're an adult, you don't see that as trauma. You see it as a reality. You don't think that you are playing a role, like you are like, okay, now I'm an adult, so I can take off all the traumatic masks that I was putting on myself. I can just break free, yeah? No. Because they believe this is just who they are. You believe this is who you are most of the time. So this is a very deep realization, because I worked with 4,000 plus clients, and I can tell you that it's not my issue. It's an issue that concerns everyone. Everyone. So deep it is. So also I want to address one thing. Some people, they simply resist trauma, the idea of trauma in and of itself, yeah? So here's something fascinating I found out during my career. Two people can experience the same adaptation mechanism and react in completely opposite ways. This is what is lying in the foundation of method of 3 eyes. Because to them being, okay, I will also draw because that's how you'll understand it better. So we have two people, yeah, and they had the same experience, but their adaptation mechanism and reaction is absolutely different. And it is, in society, it is treated differently because the adaptation mechanism can be comfortable for the society and can be uncomfortable. So for example, a people-pleasing mechanism, everybody is like, oh, I like that girl. She's always on time. She always is picking up her phone. Yes, I'm here. I will do everything you want. We can rely on her. We can do her extra, give her extra job, and she'll always be there. She'll always do everything. She will not say no. What a convenient person. And there are adaptations like a rebel, like a person who says no to everything, like a person who's not reliable, who is dark, who is pessimistic. And we are like, no, thank you. We don't want you. We don't want to talk about you. We will just pretend that you don't exist. And those two people could be having the trauma that is absolutely the same in and of itself, in the root. It could be two different ways of, thinking of this trauma, but actually it's the same. But the mechanisms are so different, and in society, we treat those people differently. Interesting point, isn't it? So, someone who's subconscious adapted by being strong. Those are like strong adaptations. I am confident. I can do that. I'll do it myself. I'll go for it. I'll fight. I'll win. I am like, no pain, no gain. And I'm marching throughout my life story in that vibration. So all the adaptations that are in that way connected with that energy that I gave you right now, they are considered strong. And a person who considers themselves strong, they will reject the idea that they have trauma. I saw it so many times when you say like, okay, let's work with trauma. I don't have trauma. Yeah, my sister has it. I think she's a weak person. Yeah, but I don't. Especially it's common in men. And I'm telling you that not to shame yourself or to be in some kind of an opposition to that. I'm just telling you this thing so you can think of it more deeply. So someone who is subconscious adapted by being strong will reject the idea that they have trauma, because to them being traumatized means being weak. And their entire survival strategy is built on avoiding that feeling at all costs. Let me draw you a little bit more so you can understand it. So let's imagine we have here a girl. We have here a girl. She is here on this level of consciousness. Doesn't matter which level it is. You don't need to define this level or something like that. Just let's give it a symbol of a vibration. The symbol of a vibration is like this. So she is here. She's 5 years old. And then her daddy leaves them, her and her mom. He just out of the blue, coming home, and he says I fell in love with another woman. I'm leaving you for good, guys. Of course I'll visit. Of course I'll be still a part of your life. But he disappears, vanishes, no daddy. And that's a trauma. So she has this major event, a big one. But also she has some smaller events. Her mommy taken another job. So there is already no more mommy, no daddy, no mommy. She has a grandma who is strict, who is very not a nice woman, let's say this. So she is treating this girl like a soldier. So she spends with her granny a lot of time, and that gives her so many small traumatic events. So all that is going to a spot of trauma. I'm calling it a spot of trauma. Why we need this spot? We need this spot because at this very spot, this little girl makes a conclusion. She makes a conclusion that the world is unpredictable. So she thinks the world is unpredictable in a bad way. So that's what she thinks. And she starts to adapt herself to this conclusion because daddy left, because mommy had to take another job, because granny is like a granny, yeah, she's like that. And she has to suffer and she has to go all through all of it alone, by herself. Not being heard, not being held, not being hugged, and daddy is not showing up. And she thinks that he left her and so on. And from that, she needs to adapt. So she's adapting herself by what? By splitting. That's what we were talking about. This is the trauma floor. This is the trauma floor. The thing that I've created for the method of 3 eyes. Method of 3 eyes based on this concept. So please listen carefully. It can really help you a lot if you just absorb it. So there is an A and a B. Doesn't matter, it can be opposite, but I just like to draw like that. So this little girl thinks, okay, I need to be strong. I'm strong enough. Na, 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 na. Because she thinks that if the world is unpredictable, I'll be strong and tough and ready. I will just be ready and alert. And she starts to be a girl who's climbing the trees, playing with boys, using those boys for something she needs, manipulating them, being like, like that. A naughty girl. So she can take care of herself. She can be mean to her little sister. For example, her mom gets married, remarried like one more time. She's pregnant. She's given birth to a little sister, and she's a meanie. Because she thinks that she needs to be strong and not to be weak. And she loves her sister, but she unconsciously stops her love. She says, I don't want that love. I love my daddy, he left me, so I will not love anyone anymore because that's painful. So all those beliefs, they are going together with this. So this is not alone. This is the root, but it's like a think of it like a tree or a dandelion. There is a center and there are a lot of branches that just, they're so big and different. So that's what's happening here. Yeah, this is our reality. And the bee is something she needs to put in the back pocket. Why? Because she needs to associate herself with the strong one. That means that a weak one, whom she considers a weak, who is weak? A needy one, a feminine one, a fragile one, a sensitive one, a loving one. She doesn't need her because loving one, caring one, needy one is the one who will not survive. So she associates herself, identifies herself with the A. And she says, I'm not that. And whenever she feels like a B, she starts to be really angry, be really in pain. She feels pain and she starts to be like a volcano. So whenever she's threatened, and she's threatened as soon as her focus shifts from the A to the B. If she feels that there is a threat, that, I love him too much, I think I need him, I need to sabotage this relationship. Because if I won't, I'll get in trouble. I'll feel that pain when daddy left me. This is not something you tell in your mind. This is something that is going on inside of you without you knowing that. You just get the reaction. And you think that this reaction is who you truly are. No. All that is going on inside of you, in the back of your mind, behind the curtains. So this is fascinating, isn't that? And this is what trauma is. But I want you to know that here in this part, we have so much energy. If we dive deeper into this part, if we touch this part, if we uncover this part, we get a lot of energy out of there. Out of here too, but out of there especially a lot of energy because we were suppressing that for a very long time. That means as soon as we uncover that, it's like a Pandora box. So many bonuses just are falling in our head and we just oh wow, thanks God. So that's what energetic work is giving us when we are going deeper, when we are diving inside. Actually, vibrationally, we are going up, but we just have a word that we are going down, deep inside, yeah? So it's not even deep, yeah? It's just inside, not outside, but inside. So when we are going there, when we are seeing all that concept, we see all those vortices, we see the floor, we see the A and the B and all that. It helps us to be aware of what is happening in the back of our minds, and that gives us the control back. Because without seeing that, there is no control. You can forget about your control. You can have an illusion of control. I'm controlling everything. I'm holding those men aside of me. That's not a control. That's fear. Fear and traumatic response and adaptation. Not love, not control, not strength. All that is an illusion. So welcome back out of your illusions if you've been there. So, okay, let's dive again down. So some people who associate themselves here, when I start talking about trauma, they're like, hi, I'm not traumatized. It's about my sister. Yeah, my sister, she's a needy. She's a weak one. Yeah, I'm yeah, just like my dad left me. I was fine. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about it later when the time comes. Yeah, so not everybody is ready to see that. And that's okay. We're not pushing anyone anywhere. So I just need you to see that. And even if you feel some resistance towards your own story, don't uncover it. Listen about some other personas. Yeah, like this girl about whom I was talking about. Don't even just try to push away your resistance. Just tell yourself, I will just listen to the stories, because this is therapeutic. You'll get more if you just allow yourself to stick with what I'm saying right now. So, okay. And on the other hand, we have another situation. Someone who adapted by being the victim. For example, her little sister adapted by being a victim because let's say that her daddy is an abuser. So that first girl, this girl, she got a daddy who left her mommy, and then she got a stepdad who is an abuser, a verbal abuser, let's say. So her little sister gets in a situation with a very mini sister, with some kind of a woman who maybe that's like a sister from another marriage. So that little girl, the second one, has an abusive daddy, has a mini sister, and she can, like, this role is occupied, it's taken. She cannot get the same role. Basically, our subconscious is working like that. This is taken, I cannot be this. I need to be something else. And this is open. So I'll be a victim. So we have, on the other hand, someone who adapted by being the victim. They will fully embrace the identity of being traumatized, because that's how they've learned to receive care and attention. So neither reaction is wrong. I'm not telling you that it's wrong, but both are limiting. Because the truth is that trauma isn't about being weak or strong. It's about how your subconscious had to restructure itself to survive. You see, it's restructuring from one flow to two flows. One is hidden, one is here. So when I just separate, when I have that split, I have the opportunity to identify with either side. If I don't have that split, there will be no identification. So that's a mechanism of restructuring. So it's about how your subconscious had to restructure itself to survive. I already told you my story, how I discovered my own birth trauma. I was born in 1987 in Ukraine. I told you about that during the Soviet Union times, and my mother had a C-section. I'm just telling that for newcomers who didn't hear that story before. And I was taken away immediately because my mom had a fever and she had some kind of, flu. So I was taken away from her because they were scared that I'm gonna get it. And my father was even not allowed inside the hospital. Why? Because it was Soviet Union. Fathers were not allowed. And for years, I didn't even consider this as a trauma at all. It was just like how things were. Like, nice story, Mom. Thank you for telling me that. But when I started exploring my subconscious, I realized something shocking. I had been carrying the deep imprint of loneliness, abandonment, and disconnection my entire life. And I'm a public speaker, and very often when I speak at the public, even like 5 years ago, people would come and hug me, and I would just hug them, but I wouldn't let them in. You know what I mean? When you're hugging someone, like, but you don't let them in, because I was lonely there, because I was scared in my subconscious mind. It wasn't conscious. I thought it's okay just to hug and smile and yeah, but I didn't feel it. So, that is an important thing to understand. I had been carrying the deep imprint of loneliness, abandonment, disconnection my entire life, thinking that it's normal. And my first experience of the world was separation. That's why I was trying not to get into people too much, so I won't feel that separation again. If I don't have anyone to love, I don't have anyone to lose. That's what my subconscious mind was telling me all the time. And I was like a get-goer. I was the one who did everything. I could rely on myself. I was strong, of course, overachiever. That's what is happening usually. So, and to survive that experience, I toughened up. I locked down my emotions. I became strong, but that strength came at a cost. It blocked me from experiencing the connection. True connection. And I thought that I do feel connection. But when I integrated the trauma, guys, I had it was like a volcano of emotions. I was hugging people and getting so much. I was in a situation when I was like blowing away because all that was locked started to surface, and I got so much energy from that trauma. So much energy, you can't even understand how much, maybe. So, this is what I want you to understand. Our deepest patterns don't come from random experiences. They come from how our subconscious mind learned to protect us. But what once kept us safe might now be keeping us stuck. So the shift is like this. Trauma isn't something to fix. It's a gateway to power. So imagine when I integrated that, I got so much power. And that's not power like I can control you. That power that I'm talking about is the power of being yourself. More of yourself and more of yourself. And more of your true energy coming through your physical body. So this is what it is. So let's change the way we talk about trauma. Instead of seeing it as something to heal or release, let's see it for what it is, a doorway. Your trauma is a doorway. Did you think about it in this way? A key, a map leading back to your true self. And I mean the true isn't that the true self is valid, your trauma is not. No, I'm telling here because our language is really poor. We don't have the word. The closest word I could find is true self. Like the first self whom you were before traumatic experiences. So, if you are stuck in cycles of people-pleasing, avoidance, overachieving, self-sabotage, or fear, this isn't because something is wrong with you. This is because at some point your subconscious mind made an agreement. This is how I need to be to survive. And today we are here to renegotiate that agreement. You always have that ability, but you forgot about it. You thought that there are no renegotiations, but there are. So because transformation doesn't happen by rejecting the past, it happens by integrating it. Because of that, we have the method of 3 eyes. So what's next? Now that you see your trauma and how it shaped you, how it shaped your subconscious patterns, let's take this deeper. So we are going to the next section, the hidden impact of unprocessed wounds. Why they keep running your life even when you think they're gone. So if you're here today, it means you're ready to go deeper. Because yesterday we uncovered the subconscious blueprint that has shaped your life, your ancestral imprints, birth imprints, cultural conditioning, and family dynamics. Remember there's 4? I was talking about those 4 layers of an onion. But awareness alone doesn't create transformation. Today we step into something even bigger. It is called integration. This is the second eye of a method of 3 eyes. Because our first eye was identification. Whom are you identified with? This is identification. And now we are talking about integration. This is the second eye of a method of 3 eyes, 3 parallel eyes. Yeah, it's so symbolic. So let's get into it. Here is the truth. The reason many people stay stuck isn't because the trauma itself, it's because of the story they are telling themselves about it. So there is a trap of unprocessed wounds. Unprocessed wounds have a hidden power. They don't just sit in your subconscious like old memories. They actively shape your perception of the world. They convince you that the way you've been living is the only way to live. So the way of reacting, this way, being strong is the only way to live. If you are not this, you're dead. You're in pain, you're suffering, there is no other option. So, to every limiting belief is attached this little tail. I call it a tail. So this little tail that says, no way, only like this, no other options. This is weak, we don't like it. Everything else, we don't like it. Everything else leads to death. And it can be like really that feeling of certainty inside of you. These are little tales of limiting beliefs. So they convince you that the way you've been living, is the only way to live. And just like, try to think. Have you ever had thoughts like this? Other people can succeed, but I can't because I'm not special. Maybe you are not telling that out loud, but you thought of it. Love works for others, but I always attract the wrong people. This is just how life is. Some people are lucky, some aren't. I just like, I'm living the way I can. I'm doing what I can. I'm doing everything right. So why does it still feel like something is missing? Maybe I don't have a resource. Maybe I don't have something. Like, you're walking your life thinking that there is a missing puzzle, trying to get it somewhere, doing the work, attending the courses, buying consultations to get that fix. So I gave you 4 different thoughts that can be in your head, and those aren't facts. Those are echoes of unprocessed wounds, tales of your limiting beliefs. And until we integrate them, they will keep whispering the same story over and over again. So trauma isn't just negative, positive reinforcement. Trauma is more. And I told you that positive things can be traumatic too. And they can trap you too, because it's a whole mechanism. So again, most people think trauma is something bad happening to you. But again, that's only half of the picture. Trauma isn't just about wounds, it's about adaptation. Shift your perspective from, oh my God, this horrible thing happened. This is how people think of trauma. Horrible, horrible, bad, bad, bad. Shift your perspective and start thinking of trauma as an adaptation. It helps you a lot. It will just get you out of that negative cycle, negative vibrations that you can be experiencing. So sometimes adaptations come through positive reinforcement, conditioning that seems helpful on the surface but silently limits you. So again, for example, the golden child adaptation. Let's say your parents always praised you for being obedient, polite, and such a good child. She's such a good girl. She's so nice. She's so developed. She's like a little adult. Sounds great, right? You're like, yeah, this is who I am. But what happens if they only reinforced you when you were good? Did they give you the same level of warmth when you were angry? Or they gave you a look like this is not appropriate? Did they celebrate you when you set your boundary and said, I don't want to help you with my little brother? And they're like, come on, who am I supposed to rely on? You are the only one who can do that. I need to go to work. I am doing my best to protect this family, to give food and so on and so forth. And you feel guilty after. So did they still show up with unconditional love when you expressed your true desires, when you said, you need to do a ballet? And the child is like, no, I don't want to. I want to sing. No, singing is bad. Ballet is good for you. Do you see that? That smooth manipulation going on. That's also a trauma. So without even realizing it, you could have developed an adaptation. If I want to be loved, I must always be good, convenient, smiling. And without questioning it, you carry that into adulthood. Now you overextend yourself at work because you need to be the perfect employee. You suppress anger in relationships because good people don't get mad. And you know, I saw one video of a retreat when women are taken to the forest and they're unleashing themselves like good girls. And they're like, they're so mad. They're throwing like sticks and everything because they were allowed to unleash their anger. And when one started doing that, another one like get into the vibe, and they were just like, you know, they were unstoppable in that. That's happening when you suppress. It doesn't go anywhere. It stays inside of you. So, you struggle to ask for what you want because you've learned love must be earned. And here's the kicker. You don't even see it as a problem because your subconscious has convinced you that this is just who I am. But guys, in reality, it's just a strategy you develop to survive. So the real problem isn't the want, it's the underlying belief. I told you this belief, it's right here in this spot. That's why I've created in this scheme the spot. The world is unpredictable in a bad way. And from this stems all the tree of our limiting beliefs. From this one. A lot of more have like their branches to the sun because they have that root belief underneath. So this is how it works. It's fascinating, isn't that? So the real problem isn't the want, it's the underlying belief. The reason people stay trapped in old cycles isn't because of the painful event itself, it's because of the belief they created in response to that event. So every want creates a limiting belief. Every want. And this is a part of trauma itself, of this mechanism. If you were only loved when you achieved, you believe love equals performance. This is a limiting belief. If your emotions were dismissed, you believe your feelings aren't valid. So this is a limiting belief. You are here. Your emotions were dismissed all the time. You're crying and mom says, no, little princesses, don't cry. Or you are yelling and they say, oh, disgusting, you cannot express yourself like that. Or you are saying something like standing up for yourself and like, you look like a boy, ugly, ugly, we don't like it. So you have all those things going on and you start to believe that your feelings aren't valid and you adapt to that. For example, you become silent, you become obedient, you become convenient, and you put in your back pocket the one who is against everything, the one who is angry. The angry one is in a back pocket. And sometimes it starts to unleash themselves in your real world. And you are frightened and scared of it. Because sometimes you can be screaming at your kids because you have that traumatic response. So if your boundaries were ignored, you believe saying no equals rejection. So the real issue isn't the world itself, isn't the wound itself, isn't the trauma itself. It's what happens next. If we don't integrate these beliefs, they turn into the undercurrents of our life, running in the background and shaping every decision we make. So the cost of ignoring these hidden patterns is big. You don't have to focus on these undercurrents for them to shape your life. They are there, whether you acknowledge them or not. And the more you push them down, the more energy they take. This is why unprocessed wounds show up as anxiety, burnout, toxic relationships, or even physical illness. Your subconscious is constantly trying to resolve them because it starts to show you the problem in your reality. It's called triggers, yeah? Because they're triggering that deep wound. So even when you consciously ignore them, they still are there. Let's say you've spent your whole life believing I must always be good to be loved. You suppress anger until it turns into exhaustion. Yeah, exhaustion can be unprocessed anger. Interesting, yeah? You please others until resentment builds up inside you. Yeah. You never ask for what you would truly want, and one day you wake up completely disconnected from yourself, looking in the ceiling and not like even wanting to stand up from the bed. This isn't random, guys. This isn't like an event that happened to you. It's the result of decades of programming. What's the way out? A good question. Integration. The reason most people never truly change is that they try to release or let go. There are a lot of disciplines that teach you that. Let go, release, forgive. But here's the truth. You don't need to let go of anything. You need to integrate it. It's the opposite. So what is integration? Instead of running from your past, you reclaim it. Instead of rejecting the parts of yourself that adapted to survive, you understand them. Instead of feeling like your patterns define you, you recognize that they are just strategies you can now rewrite. So that's what we are going to do now. Yeah, the deep integration process. Now that we've uncovered these hidden patterns, it's time to rewrite and to rewire them at the subconscious level. This isn't just about thinking differently, it's about shifting the energy, the emotions, and the core beliefs that have been keeping you stuck. So get ready, because we're about to step into one of the most powerful transformation processes of your life. And I'm not just joking, I'm not like giving you a big word. You know, I have we already had, yeah, a big success with the groups of people. We were doing that in groups. And I just want you to know that this already worked with thousands of people. So that's why you can treat it, because I know, like, when you're starting to tell something and you don't back up with the evidence, with the big amount of people who already did that, people are like, it's some kind of a new woo-woo thingy. No. I just want you to give it a chance, because in nowadays world, we have so many disciplines that are taking us away because it's running from pain. And I want you to come back to yourself, to who you are. So let's begin. Breaking the cycle, rewiring your subconscious with the method of 3 eyes with its foundation. So you've uncovered your subconscious blueprint. You've seen how ancestral trauma, birth imprints, everything worked on you and shaped your reality. So we now need to rewire what we have. So most people think changing their life is about willpower and about working harder, being more disciplined, repeating affirmations, writing journals, saying more times thank you, like gratitude. And yet their patterns don't change, because your subconscious is still running the same outdated program. So I want you to imagine that you're driving a car and you realize that GPS is taking you to the wrong destination. No matter how hard you press the gas, you're still going in the wrong direction. You can't go where you want to go until you change the coordinates. The same thing happens in your mind. You can set all the conscious goals you want, but if your subconscious is programmed for scarcity, self-sabotage, unworthiness, you will always be pulled back to those old patterns. And that's why we don't work with willpower here. We work with the subconscious. So method of 3 eyes, the 3-phase system for rewiring your subconscious. This is not just about letting go of old beliefs, as you understood. Step 1 is identification. So finding the root cause. We were talking about that yesterday. You cannot change what you cannot see. And this is where most people get stuck. They try to change their surface behaviors, like, okay, I'm eating too much, I need to stop eating, I need to like close my mouth, I need to sew it together, like I cannot do that, I just like, and so on and so forth. But they're never asking themselves, why am I doing that? What am I trying to achieve? What feeling I don't want in my life, so I'm trying to escape into food? Yeah? So let's get back to yesterday, and we need to choose some field that you want to work on. For example, the money struggle. If you consciously want more financial abundance, you read books, you took courses, you tried new strategies, but somehow money always feels stressful. Why? Because deep inside your subconscious believes money equals struggle, and you just have that reality. Because it's inside out. Everything that is inside is outside. If money is a struggle, is what you believe in. How to understand what is your belief system? Look around. Your life reflects it perfectly. So, no matter how hard you work, your subconscious will sabotage your efforts to stay in alignment with that belief, with the belief that money is super easy thing to get. Yeah, you will sabotage that. So what we are doing in the method of 3 eyes process, instead of forcing affirmations like I am rich, we go straight to the subconscious and uncover the root belief. We track it back to its origin. Maybe you heard your parents fight about money growing up, and your subconscious linked money with conflict. Once we see the belief of what it is, we can move to the next step. Next step is integration. It is the breakthrough process that we will be doing today. Most healing methods focus on releasing negative beliefs. That's not what we are doing again. So what we do instead, we don't fight the belief, we integrate it. Instead of rejecting the part of you that is afraid of success, we acknowledge it, we understand its purpose, and we create a new experience that allows of expansion. Your subconscious doesn't just hear words, it needs proof. So in this step, we create an internal shift. So undeniable that your mind automatically updates its beliefs. For example, if your subconscious believes, I can't have success and freedom, we take you into a subconscious experience where you feel what it's like to have both. We allow your body and nervous system to process that as a reality. Once the subconscious accepts it as possible, it starts working to make it happen effortlessly. And step 3, my favorite step 3 is initiation, embodying the new reality. Most people think once they have a breakthrough, the work is done. No. If you don't integrate into your daily life, your subconscious will default back to old patterns. That's why this final step is crucial. So how we lock in the transformation? We create an energetic shift, not just a mental one. We anchor the new belief into your subconscious using specific techniques that align mind, body, and emotions. We identify shifts, so you no longer have to try to be different. You just are. Yeah? So your identity shifts. Your identity shifts. Yeah? It's a big thing. So remember the picture, like I already erased it, but we had a girl here, and here she identified herself with this one. Where is the identity shift in this triangle? The identity shift is that this little girl from here, she goes straight to the spot of her trauma and she goes up. And this part goes up too. So that's where she shifts from this perspective to the whole perspective, seeing all the thing together. Yeah? Is it clear? Thank you. I hope it is. It's transformative. It's big. Mind-blowing. This is good. Okay. So let me give you one example about initiation. If you've always been stuck in people pleasing, we don't just tell you, start setting boundaries. We shift your internal state so that saying no longer feels like a threat to your nervous system. The change becomes automatic because your subconscious now supports it instead of fighting against it. So what happens next, guys? By now, you've probably already started to notice shifts because information can be a transformation. Maybe you're seeing patterns you never saw before. Maybe you're realizing that things you thought were just how you are were actually just programmed beliefs. That means your transformation has already started, and this is so important. But today we take it even deeper because we're about to step into one of the most powerful processes of this entire camp, the deep integration process. This is where the real rewiring happens, where you stop just understanding your patterns, yeah, and start changing them on a subconscious level. So let's begin. Energetic recalibration, aligning with your true self. So right now, in this moment, you are carrying the frequency of your past beliefs. Really feel it. There is that frequency of your old patterns, old beliefs. But what if right here, right now, you could shift? What if change wasn't hard but instant? This is not about fixing yourself. This is about tuning yourself to the vibration of who you actually are, already are. You don't need to change. You don't need to find your true self. You've never lost it. It was always there, just hidden underneath of all those layers of traumatic responses. You've just been tuned into a frequency that isn't yours, that was an adaptation. So let's recalibrate. How does it sound right now? So 3-step instant energy shift. First, breathe deeply. Inhale fully. Hold. Exhale completely with the sound. Again, inhale fully. Hold. Exhale completely with the sound. Again, inhale fully. Hold. Exhale completely with the sound. Feel your body relax. Feel the old frequency dissolve. Feel like you shift and shift your attention. Say to yourself, I am shifting already. I am aligning with who I want to be, with who I am. My natural frequency is already here. This information is giving me a transformation, and I accept it in my own pace, in my own way, the way I need it. I trust myself. And really feel it now. Instead of wanting to be your true self, be it now, right now. So just give yourself that shift, like, okay, if I am my true self, because it never left me, I was never lost. I had an experience of being lost because I believe that I am my compensation, and now I know that it's a lie. I already had me inside of me. Ooh. So just now tune into that frequency of you, be it. What does it feel like to already be whole? Already be free? Already be in alignment? Feel it. Tune into it. That's your real vibration. That feeling. That's you. Right now. Bit by bit explore it. No rush. Not in the future. Not after more healing. You was always there. Not broken. Not torn apart. Was always there. Your true self. Connect to it. Start moving. Sway your body. Feel the energy. Feel that you are there. It's you. Always were. You are there. Your true self. You're aligned. You're relaxed. You are who you are. Feel it. Be it. Tune into it. That's your real vibration. That's it. That's it. That's you. Just feel it. Just go with it. Come on. Don't stop yourself. Just go it. Just feel it. Just feel the energy. It is an energetic shift. You don't need to focus on anything else. Just you, who you are inside of you. You were always there. Just feel it. Be it right now. You. Feel the vibration of this word, you, who you are right now. You are. You are. Okay, shake yourself a little bit. Ooh, that was nice, yeah? If you felt it a little bit, that's okay. If you felt it a lot, that's okay too. There is no right or wrong. There is just an experience. Every experience matters. Every experience is right, absolutely right, the way it should be for you. So how to stay there? Integrate everything that is not in alignment with who you really are and want to be. So after the integration process, the more integrations you do, the more you are who you are. And actually, like if you are ready, you can do it all in one integration. It is possible. But mostly what I see with my clients, they require more integrations. That's fine too. So any pace is good. And now we continue from this frequency. Just stay here, stay open, because we're about to go even deeper. Stay open, stay here, stay open, stay here. we are going into a guided practice, deep integration process. So active participation in transforming limiting beliefs is necessary because we are using method of 3 eyes. You've uncovered the subconscious programs. You've seen how they were formed, and now it's time to shift. And in method of 3 eyes, we don't erase or fight our beliefs, we integrate them. We welcome them with smile. Because a belief only controls you if you resist it. But the moment you fully allow it to be seen, understood, and transformed, it loses its grip on you. So right now, we are not here to fix anything, we are here to meet it, to fully integrate what has been shaping your life, so that you, not your past, get to decide what happens next. So you have your workbooks, it's time to open them up. Step 1 is an identity, like we will identify the limiting belief running your life. So first of all, you need to close your eyes, breathe deeply, be present, open, drop into your body, like just drop into it. And ask yourself, what is one belief that has been controlling my life? One little story I keep telling myself. Close your eyes closed, guys. Maybe it's, I'm not enough. Maybe I always mess things up. Maybe love always leaves me. Maybe money is hard. Maybe I have to prove myself. Whatever it is, let it come. Just one. Trust your first word, first sentence that came up. And now say it out loud with me. I see you. I know you've been here for a long time. And I'm ready to understand you. Smile, smile, smile. See that belief, see its influence on you, see its grip on you. See it right in the eye. If you're scared, it's okay to be scared. Be scared. Look at this belief and say once again, I see you. I know you've been here for a long time, and I'm ready to understand you. So we are going to step 2. Don't open your eyes. Meet the part of you that created that belief. Now just feel into your body. Where do you store this belief? Where do you hold it? Is it heavy in your chest? A tightness in your throat? A sinking feeling in your stomach? Just feel where it is. Now openly ask yourself, when was the first time I ever felt this way? When was the first time I ever felt this way? And let the image pop up. See the younger version of you. The moment this belief was created. What was happening? Who was there? What did this part of you need back then? I'll give you a moment. This belief was never random. It was created to protect you, to help you survive. Just see it. See it for what it is. And now, you get to choose if you still need it, if you still need it. Still need it or not? Still need it? Ask yourself, do I still need it? No. We are moving to a step 3. Look at this younger version of you, the child, the teen, the past version still holding this belief. They can hold it in their hands. They can hold it as a box or maybe a balloon. Now Now step into the version of yourself that already knows this belief isn't true. The one who's already free, who was always free. You have that part of you that never played that game, actually. There is a part of you that knows this belief is fake. Step into that part and look from that part on the child in front of you with this box, balloon, object, anything that is a representative of that limiting belief that you've created about yourself, about life, about others. And ask yourself, if I was never wounded, if I was always healed, whole, what would I tell this past version of me? And say it out loud. Let them hear it. Let them feel it. You can say, dear, love is not a pain. It can be, but in and of itself, it's not painful. Love is beautiful. Love is amazing. I've tried that. So now, from the point of that part of you that is whole, healed, transformed, or even never ever wounded, because that part always saw a bigger picture, a bigger perspective. So from that part, give an explanation to that inner child of yours, of that little boy or girl that is standing in front of you, holding that belief, thinking that that belief is the only truth they know. If they say money is hard, you can say something like, for your mom it was like it, but our world is created by our own beliefs. If you believe it, you'll see it. Not the opposite. If you believe it, you'll see it. So what if money is something you can get easily, effortlessly, with love? What if money can come to you in a way of your artistic improvisation? What if I told you that in this world there are a lot of people who get money easily? And see the shift. And now imagine pulling this past version of you into your heart, holding them, bringing them back home, into you. Not as something to get rid of, but as something to love. Because you see why they were holding to that belief. They didn't have anyone who told them the truth. And we are moving to step 4. Now say this out loud, fully believe in it. I no longer need this belief to protect me. I integrate it. I will protect you. Tell that to your childish version of yourself. We are free. I choose to see myself as I truly am. I am enough. I am powerful. I am whole. And this is not an affirmation. This is a shifted perspective. Feel the difference. Breathe in. Feel the shift. Because it is happening right now. And you can simply align with it or not. It will be your choice. You're free to choose. No one is forcing you. There is a shift going on right now. There is a train that is going to an absolutely different reality. The reality where you live without that belief. The train is now going away from the station. And you can hop on. If you want to, you can align with that reality where this train is going there and it's actually going, and you can see yourself on it. Because with this energy, you are shifting your perspective, shifting your vibration to the one where you're whole, where you understand your wounded self, you protect your wounded self. You integrated that belief. The moment you fully integrate, the belief loses its control over you. And from this moment forward, you get to choose what happens next. Okay, guys, bit by bit, you can feel yourself on the train. You can feel yourself going where you're supposed to be going. You can see that shift inside of you already. And if you're ready, you can open your eyes right now, bit by bit, coming back to this physical reality. And what we just did is a small but incredibly powerful part of a method of 3 eyes. This is just the beginning. In the method of 3 eyes, there is a lot more to offer. Because real transformation isn't just about understanding, it's about full integration. And integration goes way deeper than this one moment. But you felt the taste of it, didn't you? Method of 3 eyes is designed to take you beyond surface level healing, beyond temporary breakthroughs. It's about rewiring your subconscious, integrating every fragmented part of you. Sorry about that, guys. My phone fell. So, method of 3 eyes is designed to take you beyond surface level healing. Energy changed, yeah, the phone reacted on that. Beyond temporary breakthroughs, it's about rewiring your subconscious, integrating every fragmented part of you and stepping into the version of yourself that no longer carries old limitations. And today, you've taken a step, but this is only the first layer. There's so much more to uncover, to integrate, to shift. And tomorrow, we take it even deeper. We will be doing more work. So now I want you to do the emotional release exercise because we are different. Somebody was going through a very painful stuff right now. I can see that. Somebody was just diving into that a little bit, but still we all had some work. So now you've just done deep subconscious work. Now let's move that energy because transformation isn't just mental, it's physical, emotional, and energetic. And when we shift, we need to release. We need to release. And let's shake it off right now. So all of you, please stand up, guys. Don't be lazy. You are not lazy. Laziness is just like when you don't believe in something. When you do believe and do understand, you just like stand up right away. Shake your hands. Shake your hands, shake your arms, do it like in a very enthusiastic way. Shake your legs, feel the energy moving, feel like you're not just shaking, but you are aligning with what you did right now in your subconscious. Take a deep breath in, hold it. Sorry, again, my phone is falling, guys. I'm really sorry. I will do this. So hold your breath, yeah? Hold your breath and release. So let's do it again. Take a deep breath in, hold it, and now exhale again with the sound, let go. Now place your hand on your heart and feel yourself. Just like feel yourself through your physical body. Oh, that's amazing. Touch it deeper on an energetic level through your physical body. Feel yourself, your energy, your flow, your vibration. It's not even feeling it with the hand, but with your focused attention. Your hand points your focused attention right here, right now. Go deep, 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 deep. Touch it. Say out loud, I'm safe. I'm whole. I'm integrating and I'm ready. You are not who you were when you started. Your energy is shifting. Your subconscious is rewiring. And this is just the beginning. So take a deep breath. You just did something. You just did some of the most important work of your life. If you treat it like that, it will be like that. You faced the patterns that have been running your reality. You started shifting them. And right now, you are no longer the same person who started this journey. But here is the truth. Awareness alone isn't enough. We've seen the patterns. You've felt the shifts. But what happens when life pulls you back into old familiar ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting? That happens only when you are not acting from a state of a healed self. So some of you might already be thinking, what if I fall back into my old patterns? What if I forget what I learned here? That's because deep transformation isn't a single moment, it's a process. And this is where most people get stuck. You don't need more information. I showed you everything. You don't need more information. You need a system that ensures you actually integrate this work into your life. So that's exactly why I created Heal the Root, 14 Days to Freedom from Childhood Trauma. So I know exactly what it feels like to have a breakthrough and then watch it slowly fade away. I spent years searching. Years, guys. I read the books, I took the courses, I had those big aha moments where everything made sense. But no matter how powerful those moments were, I always found myself back in the same cycles, the same patterns. The decorations changed, but the core was the same invisible walls. Until I realized the problem wasn't my ability to grow, it was my ability to integrate. So breakthrough is just step one. This camp is amazing, but it's just step one. Without deep work, your subconscious will always pull you back to what it knows. Because transformation isn't about knowing something new, it's about becoming something new. That's why I created Heal the Root, 14 Days to Freedom from Childhood Trauma. Because I've been where you are. I know that the difference between a temporary shift and a permanent transformation is what you do next. This is the program I wish I had when I was stuck in those loops and I was stuck. And now it's here for you. So let's make sure that what you started here doesn't just become another great experience you will be talking about with your friends, but then you will just forget about it. Let it be the moment that changed everything. I've seen this cycle in my practice. People have massive breakthroughs. But without integration, they slip back into their old ways. I also saw people who were coming back from shamanic experiences. And then they just step back into their old reality, feeling even creepier. Because they had a hope, they tried, and the hope was gone. And their life in the same pattern, but without hope, was even worse. So I don't want that to happen to you. That's why I created a system that makes sure your consciousness is in control right now. Yeah? It makes sure that your subconscious rewiring sticks. So I'm opening the doors to a program that will take everything we've done here and solidify it at the deepest level. So are you ready to make this transformation last? And I'm introducing you Heal the Root, 14 Days to Freedom from Childhood Trauma. This is the next step, the one that ensures you don't just learn, you transform. This is not just another course. This is a 14-day subconscious integration system designed to make this shift permanent. So Heal the Root, again, it's the deepest transformation you've ever experienced in 2 weeks. You've done the self-help work. You've tried therapy. But why do the same patterns keep showing up? So that is happening, again, because you've never gone straight to the root, and now you have a possibility to do that. We did this work right here. You felt that work. It's a part of it, a small part, like 1% of what you're going to experience in the course. Your childhood trauma isn't just a story from the past. It's the invisible program running your entire life. It shapes your relationships, your success, your self-worth, and the way you show up in the world. If you don't integrate it, it will keep showing up no matter how much you work on yourself. So heal the root. It's a 14 days. Easy. I mean easy because we will not suffer. We will not cry over, over our bad experience. No. We will integrate. We will inhale everything that we didn't inhale because we were holding our breath because we were scared. So it's not just another healing program, it's a step-by-step system designed to rewire the subconscious patterns that have been running your life. So what's inside? 14 days of deep transformation with guided exercises, subconscious practices, and real-time integration. Daily tasks and practices, small shifts that create massive results. You will have a group support, so you're never alone in this process. And of course, powerful subconscious reprogramming tools based on method of 3 I's that help you to go beyond understanding your trauma and actually to integrate in it. So how it works? We have 2 weeks. First week is awareness and identification. You can't heal what you can't see. This week, we expose the subconscious patterns that have shaped your life. We will do it deeper than on this camp. The truth about how childhood trauma programs your reality. You will understand it like yourself in your own patterns. Mapping out the hidden beliefs keeping you stuck. Meeting your inner child and understanding what was lost. Identifying the subconscious rules you've been following. Discovering how trauma has shaped your relationships, fears, and self-worth. And a week number 2, integration and reprogramming. How that you've seen the patterns, now that you've seen the patterns, it's time to rewrite them. So it will be about how to reconnect with emotions you've suppressed for years. Remember that picture, because that part was suppressed. We will get connected to it. Even through our bodies, we will be embodied in that. And that will feel like you'll release so much energy. You'll tap into so much energy because there are a lot of bonuses stored in those boxes. Yeah? Traumatic boxes. And as I said, we need another word because trauma isn't good or bad. Because the word trauma has a bad tone. But actually, it's not bad. It's not good or bad. It's a mechanism. So when we see it as a mechanism, we can pull a lot of energy from it. When we don't see it as a mechanism, when we see it as something bad, then, of course, we cannot do anything with it. We just are trying to get rid of it. So change your perspective. So, how to reconnect with emotions you've suppressed for years, the body's role in trauma and how to release it at the physical level, rewriting the subconscious script that has been running your life, shifting into a new identity, who you are beyond your trauma, how to create real-world changes that reflect your transformation, and integration and future self-activation. So we will lock in your transformation and set your new reality in motion. What makes it different, guys? This is not therapy. We don't just talk about the past, we go into the subconscious and recode it. This is not surface level mindset work. You don't need another motivational pep talk. You need a system that actually works. This is not endless healing. This is about breaking the cycle for good. This is deep, this is real, and it works. Who is this for? If you keep repeating the same toxic patterns in relationships, no matter how much you try to work on yourself, if you struggle with guilt, shame, self-doubt, constant feeling of not enoughness, if you've read all the books, done all the journaling, and nothing truly changes, if you know there is something deeper you haven't uncovered yet, and you're ready to face it. So if you're here, it's not by accident. This is your sign that it's time to break free. So you can join now and get access for just $79 instead of $499 price. So it was $500 and now you have $79. And you have this price only for 72 hours. And of course, it's not the end. You will get a bonus hypnotic session align with your healed self. A 20-minute deep integration hypnosis to lock in your transformation. It is priced at $50, but you will get it for free. So you see, the price of the course is $79. You'll get a practice that already costs $50. So you are getting the course for $29. Guys, this is real. This is happening right now with you. So you can get that access only for 72 hours. Everything later, unfortunately, you will not be able to join. You will have the regular price and no bonus. It's you who decide. So if you are ready to heal the truth, click the link and join now, because your new life starts today. For $79, you're getting the whole course. You are getting all the transformation that you can possibly carry on with you. You get all the support. You get the access for 6 months. So yes, it's a 2-week course. You can do that. Count 12 times. Really. So you can heal 12 times, 12 traumas if you have so many. So you can re-listen, revisit every lesson, every practice. And it is packed with practices because almost each lesson has its own practice. And you know that every practice is like $50, $50-ish the price for every practice on the market. Hypnotic practice, professional one. So you'll get like 10 practices and all that for $29. So it's a $79 price for the course instead of a $500 and $79, and you get a bonus. You get that practice aligned with your healed self, the practice that you can listen to every day. I personally love to listen to it in the morning because it keeps me like to have my day going in the right direction, because it's not in a direction of my traumatized self. It's in a direction of my healed self that includes my traumatized self. And I'm not rejecting it. And I'm just walking myself, not like my traumatic response, not in a mask, not in an adaptation. So this helps me a lot. I can do it even sometimes. I can listen to it, doing it in the right way with my eyes closed, laying down. But sometimes I can just put my headphones in and just go around my day. I can just do some coffee for me. I can talk to my kids and I'm just listening in the back of my mind. I can put that recording on this thing and it's running in my bedroom. And me and my husband and my daughter, we are listening to it like subconsciously when we are in a sleep. This is also a good thing. On a repeat, on a loop. You just put it on a loop and listen to it. I don't like to sleep in the headphones. I don't know about you, but I don't like it. So I'm doing it on the speaker. So you can do that too. And you get it for free. So you have that proposition and you see we don't have any complicated different packages, like you don't need to think of it. You have just one package, just one way to access this transformation. So we've made it easy so you're not like bothered by making a difficult decision and so on. And what I wanted to tell you is a very important thing, because of course there is a method of 3 eyes. This is my flagman. This is the course that is big, that is an investment. It is, it's really expensive one. But I've noticed that people, if they buy at once this big course, what are they doing? They're too picky to themselves, if this is the right word to say. They're too strict. They're like, I need to transform because I've paid a lot of money. I need to do this, I need to do that. If I'm not doing it, it's just like, So all their traumatic responses just kick in. And they start to overthink. They start to overdo. They start to hate themselves for not doing. This is not what I want. So that's why I've created the course that is so profound, that is so deep, but it's a low investment one. Because when you didn't pay a lot, you've paid something, so you already have that, your subconscious responsibility to go through it. But you are not in a position when you are pushing yourselves too hard. So for you, it's a low investment one, and you just check if it suits you, if it goes with the flow, if you like it or not. An investment is a small one, so you don't judge yourself, you don't push yourself. Of course, guys, mind that thing, that because of this price, You can be like, okay, if I don't do it, doesn't matter. It's not $1,000. It's just like 79. No, don't fall into this trap. Just remember that the price is 500. We've made with my team the price 79. So you won't feel that big pressure. It's a present for you. So you won't feel that big pressure of a big investment and just give it a try. See how it works. And I teach, I prepare experts in the method of 3 I's. So they are getting their diplomas, they're called the expert in the method of 3 I's, and they're still attending those courses because they say, like, when you are in a group, when you're doing something, it helps you to uncover so much more. It's every time when I listen to something, I hear more and more and more. And when you get the 6-month access, you can revisit the course, re-listen to all those practices, and you can feel amazing. So just give it a try, guys. And I will be closing right now, but now take a moment and breathe. Feel into yourself. Something has already shifted, hasn't it? Even if you don't see me on this course, it's still good. Show up tomorrow too, because tomorrow we'll continue the transformation. The camp itself is a mini course that should have been priced much higher, yeah? So take a moment, breathe, feel into yourself. Something has shifted, hasn't it? Yeah. You're not just thinking differently. You're already being different. Your subconscious is not the same as when we started. And that means your reality is already in motion. The ripple effect of what we did today will continue to unfold in the coming days, weeks, and months. I feel the ripple effect from my first hypnotic practice 10 years ago. Still going on inside of me because it was such a big dramatic change. When I was doing that, I was doing the practice that helped me to see whom am I identifying with, and I saw my identity as a crawled, like a crooked, like a person laying on the stone, grayish. I felt myself like that. That was my way of identifying myself. It was so transforming. My life changed from that. It was just a little practice 10 years ago. I still feel the ripple effect from it. Can you imagine? This is something profound is going on right now. So what changed for you? What did you feel? Let's take a moment to reflect. Drop one insight, one shift, realization in the chat. What stood out to you the most? Did you notice a pattern you've never seen before? Did you feel resistance? But you now know that there is a sense of lightness in the resistance. Did something click in a way that no other work did before? So I'm open for Q&A. This is your moment. Ask what's on your heart, whether it's about today's work, a personal insight, or how to take this deeper. I'm here to support you, so I can accept questions from audience. Go ahead, guys. I can accept questions from audience right now. Okay. So you have a link, you can register using that link. The link will also be on my Instagram account, so you can join me on Instagram account too. Okay, this all sounds amazing, but what if I've already done so much inner work and I still feel stuck? What will this really work for me? This is a good question, guys. And I just wanted to remind you that there is a bit of a gap between me seeing your comments and you putting them out there, because there is like a 30 seconds and maybe even more. So if you just you posted a comment, but I'm just like, I'm not reading it. That's because I don't see it yet. So let's get back to this. All sounds amazing, but what if I've already done so much inner work and I still feel stuck? Will this really work for me? I hear you. You've read the books. I did too. You've done your homework, yeah? And yet your patterns still show up. That's because most healing stops at awareness. And awareness on its own doesn't rewire the subconscious. That's why like you know what you're doing, but you're still doing. Yeah, do you feel it? So method of 3 eyes is different. And the course Heal the Root is based on the method of 3 eyes and its philosophy. It's a complex method. It's not just like a method of 1, 2, 3. It's a complex, big method. We have an experts in the method of 3 eyes. So what I'm trying to say here is that our course Heal the Root is based on the method of 3 eyes. And it's a different story because we don't just talk about transformation, we integrate it. We have 3 eyes: identification, integration, initiation. Your subconscious mind doesn't change because of logic. It changes through experience. And you need to experience the change. That's why talking is not enough. That's exactly what we do here. You felt a little bit of energetic work. It was like 1% of what we are doing. You felt a little bit of hypnotic work, but it's only 1% of what we are doing. And that's exactly what we do here. We take this work beyond the mind and into full body integration. If you've ever felt like you're almost there, but something keeps you pulling you back, this is the missing piece. Heal the Root is based on method of 3 eyes. So it's the first step to it. I welcome you because I want to see you in our students. I want to see you in this course. Okay. I have painful childhood memories I don't even want to think about. Do I have to relieve my trauma to heal it? I have painful childhood memories I don't even want to think about. Do I have to relieve my childhood to heal it? So, this is a good question and a big one. And the short answer is no. Healing isn't about relieving the pain. It's about integrating it. And integration doesn't mean drowning in the past. Your subconscious has been protecting you all these years. If there is a part of you that feels resistant, that's not a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that your mind is doing its job. But here is the truth. You don't have to suffer through healing. It's just like something that we were taught. It's again a limited belief that you need to suffer through healing. No. In method of 3 eyes, we work with safety first. We approach your past gently. Instead of digging up trauma, we create an environment where your subconscious naturally reveals what's ready to be seen. When you're not ready, you're not going there. We are focusing on creating the environment where you can welcome the change. And when you're ready, you're ready. We integrate those parts, not with force, but with understanding, connection, and deep self-compassion. I have another question. What if I don't remember much from my childhood? Can I still do this work and see results? Absolutely. You don't need perfect memory to heal. Your subconscious remembers everything. It's there. You just don't know it. Even if your conscious mind doesn't know, your subconscious knows. I'm laughing not at you, just because this is such a popular question. A lot of people are telling me I don't remember, but actually they don't remember because they're traumatized. Because it was so painful. They chose not to remember. The patterns you live in today, your fears, your self-doubt, the way you react to challenges are all echoes of the past. You don't need to force yourself to remember specific events. Instead, we follow the emotional imprints left behind. In method of 3 eyes, we bypass the need for memory and work directly with what's present in your body and in your subconscious right now. We don't need images. And when you shift those deeper layers, a lot of my clients, they start to say, oh, I've remembered everything. Because the transformation happens anyway. Okay, how do you know if my patterns come from childhood trauma? What if I'm just overthinking it? Nice question. Love it. Thank you. Your subconscious patterns show up every single day. in how you react, how you love, how you trust or don't trust, how you fear. The question isn't whether you qualify as having childhood trauma. So the qualifies, quote unquote, qualify. Yeah, an interesting thing. The question is, do you have patterns that you can't seem to break? Yeah? Yeah. So here you are. You need the work. Do you feel stuck in the same cycles even when you know better? Yeah? You need the work. Do your emotions sometimes feel bigger than the situation at hand? Maybe somebody is telling you, oh, you are too much, or you feel that you are too much. You need the work. So if yes, then this work is for you. It's not like a trauma qualification process. Trauma isn't just the big things like abuse or neglect. It's also subtle conditioning, the way you learn to adapt to your environment, the way you shaped yourself to fit in, to feel safe, to be loved. Trauma is like money don't grow on trees. That's a trauma. They don't, but you will say, but this is the truth. They don't grow on trees, but it's not about money growing or not growing on trees. It's about the vibration with which it was told you. If your parents were telling me, you cannot have that bicycle because money don't grow on trees. It's not about actually money growing on trees. It's about, I cannot have that bicycle, because I'm bad, because I'm not deserving, because I'm not enough, and so on. So think of it. This work is for you. So the way you shaped yourself to fit in, to feel safe, to be loved, usually is a traumatic response. So, and the best part, when you change the subconscious story, you change your reality. You don't have to qualify for healing. If you're here, you're ready. That's it. Keep it simple. And I will accept one final question. I'm afraid to change. What if I do this work and my relationships, job, or life start shifting in ways I can't control? Love it. I love it because you're aware of your fear. This is such an important fear, and it's completely natural. Change means stepping into the unknown, and the subconscious mind loves the familiar, even when it's painful. So here's the truth for you guys. Transformation doesn't destroy your life. It aligns it. So shift your perspective. Transformation doesn't destroy your current life. It aligns it. Yes, when you change, your reality shifts. But it doesn't mean losing what you love. It means creating what's actually in alignment with who you are. If a relationship, a job, or a pattern isn't serving you, this work will reveal that. But you're always in control. The goal isn't to force change, it's to create a version of you that's so deeply connected to yourself that you trust whatever shifts happen. You don't have to fear transformation because the real fear isn't change. It's staying stuck in a life that isn't fully yours. So the real fear isn't change, is a stuckness in the life that's not enjoyable. So stop fearing the shift. You can fear the stuckness. Okay, I enjoyed so much interacting with you. No matter what resistance is coming up from you right now, I want you to know it's normal. It's your subconscious trying to keep you safe, but real safety isn't in staying the same. It's in finally stepping into who you were always meant to be. And that's exactly what we are doing here. So if you felt even a small shift during this camp, I'm happy. Imagine what will happen when we go even deeper for 14 days together. Click the link, join us now, and let's finish what we started. And transformation isn't a single event, it's a process. And what we did today, this is the foundation. The doors have opened, the path is visible, and now it's up to you to walk it. So what we're gonna do tomorrow? Tomorrow, we take this even further. Initiation is the missing piece in most healing work. Most people stop at awareness, they stop at breakthroughs, but what happens after that? If you don't become the person who no longer carries these patterns, they will come back. Not because you failed, but because you never fully stepped into the new version of you. Initiation is the process of embodying your transformation. It's about looking in the shifts you've made so they become second nature. So you don't have to work on healing anymore because you are the healed version of yourself. So I'm waiting for you tomorrow to talk about initiation, to do the work, because we will have a lot of practices tomorrow. So, and when you're ready to take the next step, you can purchase the course directly on our website or using the link on the Instagram. Just click the link below this video. If you have any questions or need support, you'll also find a button to contact our team. We are here to help. Thank you so much, guys. That was a pleasure to talk to you, and I'll see you tomorrow on the day 3 of our camp. Thank you. Have an amazing rest of your day.